You've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about everything so far that we need to discuss about version 4.0 and onward of Genshin Impact. But of course, we're not just going to be doing that. We're going to be looking at the trailer that just recently released for Genshin Impact and kind of diving into what we know and what we can really decipher from here, because honestly there's a lot to unpack when it comes to this trailer and a lot of characters to kind of go over. And of course I'm going to be thirsty like a mofo because you probably already know who we're going to talk about in this one. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive in. Now before we start, I do apologize because there is no background music for this, but we're going to go ahead and dive into this trailer, so let's begin.
My mission.
It's so beautiful, man. I love this scenery so much. Now, if you don't know who this is, and I just heard about this too, this is Freminate. Now, Freminate is actually the brother to Liney and Lynette. Or at least that's what I'm being told. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the comments down below. But what I'm really curious about, and I know that we kind of did this with 3.0 as well, with Kale to Tainari. I really want to know, why Freminate's taking such a big stage right here, because this is a heavy thing to go right into. We don't know anything about Freminate. We didn't really hear anything much about him beforehand. We knew about Liney and Lynette because of, the first trailer of the continents for Genshin Impact. So I'm really kind of puzzled at this, and I'm really excited because he seems like a really cool character to look into. And obviously the water symbolism here because of Fontaine is big.
Everyone sinks. Make the most of the final feast.
That,
because for the sinners,
little bodysuit animation is really cool. And then of course we're going right into...
Ladies and gentlemen, she did it! Seeing is believing, my friends. This has been Liney and Lynette's magic show.
Sorry, I said Liney, but it's Liney and Lynette. Now, these characters, like I said before, we knew all the way back to year one release of Genshin Impact. And this is pretty crazy because, again, these two characters took that big whole thing right there. They were boom, right front and center for Fontaine. And we have not seen anything about them for so long until just recently with the drip marketing for Genshin Impact. Now, we know that Liney is going to be the 5-star while Lynette is going to be the 4-star for the banner. Now, what that probably means is that Freminate is actually going to be part of the part 2 banners most likely. But at the same time, I'm still really, really excited for this because these characters look cool. The drip marketing went really, really good. And I really like the color blue, as you guys probably know from the channel, so it makes sense.
The essence of magic is giving
now, I've
people
already
to
seen this
believe
trailer
alive.
a couple times
And
now,
the
so we're
most
going to be
important
kind of
part of this is
analyzing
what
as best
people
as
see.
we can. Now, this was crazy, okay? Now, this character from my notes here is actually named Navia. Navia is the first Geo character in so long. I think it was they said close to a year and a half almost. We didn't get a Geo character in Sumeru. Or at least not that I know of. I'm pretty dang sure we didn't. Oh, hold on. No. I'm gonna look that up really quick while we're talking about it. But I'm pretty sure that we did not get a single Genshin Impact Geo character. So yeah, that's pretty insane. But she looks really, really cool. She kind of reminds me of her style is almost like a Honkai Impact 3rd character. That's what it kind of at least looks to me. But yeah, that's just how it is. But yes, no, absolutely. We did not get a single Geo character in Sumeru. That is crazy to think about. That is crazy. But yes, Navia looks absolutely dope. I'm kind of excited for her. I'm not into blondes, but she's pretty cute,
People don't realize how much they expect their eyes to tell them the truth.
And look at that, she's got the little umbrella. Of course, we see Charlotte again, and Charlotte, I think, was confirmed to be a cryo character, which is pretty cool. Now, if you don't know Charlotte, she was in the previous update, and she is one of the writers for the Steambird, alongside Mona, actually, so that's where that kind of ties together, and she looks like Pom Pom. I mean, we already kind of understand that, so, yeah. Pom Pom from Honkai Star Rail, by the way.
But what you see is not real.
So, if you're not catching on to what the wording is during this trailer, there's a lot of what you're seeing is not real. There's magicians and acts and all this stuff, and we're gonna see this in just a little bit. I know I keep pausing and all that. Now these two characters, hold on, let me repause after it focuses. There we go. So these two characters here, from left to right, this one is Seguen, I think is what it's called. And then the Sampo looking character, Sampo being from Honkai Star Rail, his name is Worthy Slay? Or Wirio Slay? Worry the Slay? Something like that. But he looks dope. But I really want to know why he's with this little buddy girl. But it looks like he might be some sort of part of a Fontaine police, or maybe an investigator of sorts, which would make sense because from what it seems like, again, they don't know what's going on in the background, so he might be trying to investigate it, and that's why he's got his good old sidekick right there.
And every part of the show is carefully
adorable.
controlled.
Controlled how?
By choosing the right time, the right place,
This trailer was done so well,
and
by the way.
the right people.
All right, so this guy, we're gonna see a little bit more later in the trailer, but from what I understand, his name is Nivelette. Now, he is going to be playing a key role in the story from what it seems like, especially when we get to the last bit. And then this
Whoever
character...
controls the...
Oh, mommy, sorry. This character is Chlorinde. Now, Chlorinde looks to be an Electro character. Now, as you can see, right on her neck, she's got the Electro vision, which is super, super cool. I wonder if Nivelette... Okay, we can't see really anything on Nivelette, but we'll know for certain.
Whoever controls the...
But Chlorinde, what's really cool
three
about her,
controls
as you can
everything.
see... Oh, hold on. Appreciate the thick. Just saying.
But keep your eyes peeled, and you might be able
Boom! She's got a gun! Now,
to turn...
what's really cool about this character, and I just wanted to get a better shot of her, what's really cool about this, and I think this is going to play a role into the, probably a catalyst user, and I know that people are probably like, they need to just introduce a new weapon. I 100% agree to some extent, but I feel as though if you just introduce guns, it's going to be a little weird, especially playing into the other regions. I truly, truly feel that they do need to introduce a new weapon, and guns would be a fun one. But I think that this character is going to be a catalyst user, and the bullets from her weapon are going to be the actual attacks. But if not, and we get guns, that's gonna be sick. I'm super stoked. But she looks so freaking cool, and I can't wait to try her out.
things to your advantage.
And then we got the Geo character Navia again.
In a nutshell, magic is what you see with
Here's
your own
where it
two
gets
eyes.
crazy, y'all. There she is. Now, why I'm so excited about this is because there have been rumors that Arlecchino was going to make an appearance in Fontaine. But the big thing about this is that she's not just making an appearance. She's going to be taking center stage as the villain. Now, I have my thoughts about this, and I'll get into that in just a moment, but let's continue.
Very fun.
Mommy.
But it's not
Mommy.
enough.
Mommy. Oh.
Let me
love her
make
so
something
much.
clear. You think of yourselves as magicians, but when you're on the stage, you're first and foremost actors. Good actors hone
Now, that's what's crazy right there. And the reason why I say that is because this has major story implications, is that Arlecchino is pulling the strings that nobody can see. And it has to do with Liney and Lynette. And I think it has to obviously do with the behind the scenes government thing, because again, we see what's going to happen at the end of this trailer, and it'll explain a little bit more about how the government kind of works in Fontaine. But I find it really crazy that she's going to be tying in to the brother and sister of Liney and Lynette, and it kind of brings in Freminate, and maybe he sees what's going on and is trying to find somebody to help before it's too late. The Fatui, crazy people, and Arlecchino, my crazy mommy. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Their craft to mesmerize the whole crowd.
Oh! Look at her. Now wait for it. Boom. Do you see, like, there we go. Do you see that right there? I wish I could zoom in at this moment, but what's important is that there is either a pyrovision or delusion on her back. The reason why this is important, and the reason why I kind of really want to talk about this to implicate what might be possible. In 3.0, we had Scaramouche, right? Scaramouche, when he came to Sumeru, was Electro Delusion, right? What if Arlecchino here was a Pyro Delusion, and we obviously beat her, but we convince her to go against the Fatui and the Tsaritsa? And then she joins the team. We have another Fatui Harbinger amongst our peoples, alongside Child and, you know, Scaramouche. And she becomes a different vision holder. That would be pretty crazy to me. But part of me is also very skeptical on her being playable, as much as I would love for her to be playable. I really do. I feel as though the way that she's acting, or the way that her character is portrayed, she wouldn't turn on the Tsaritsa. Or at least that's what I'm seeing so far. I could be wrong, but I really, really hope that she's playable. I really do. Oh, look at her. Those red X's are freaking amazing. But this is where it gets crazy, right?
Boring!
See this courtroom? This is going to be played a big thing. This is Furina. Now, Furina is, from what I can tell, and I think a lot of people are putting two and two together, this is Folklores. Now, the reason why this is important, and the reason why we have the two different names, is we know that each Archon has their Archon name and their mortal name. So I think Furina is the, you know, name that she's going to be summonable for, and Folklores is actually going to be her Archon name, which we kind of already figured that in general. A lot of theory crafters have been thinking about that for a while, except we didn't know Furina. Now, Furina is going to be like the Nahida to, you know, Ruka Devada, or however you want to go, or Lesser Lord Kusanali, however you want to say it, the Zhongli to the Morax, the Venti to the Barbados, the A to the Raiden Shogun, that type of thing. So,
Bother!
but she is sassy
When are
and
we
bratty,
going to finally
and I love
see
it.
a real twist for once?
Please
Now, as you can see, we have Nouvellette right there. And I think that's going to really cover the whole spectrum, if that makes sense. Why is it that the Archon, and we could put two and two together, that is the Archon. Why is the Archon answering to Nouvellette, the judge? Because I think that honestly, this is going to be one of the first real, like, instances of a government of mortals dictating what the god does. Now, we kind of saw that with Leeway and maybe a little bit with Mondstadt, but they don't dictate what the god does. But you see right here,
refrain from levity in the court. This trial is far from over.
We see that Nouvellette is the one in charge. And that's what's crazy to me, right? With this trailer, I think it really encapsulates what the story is going to be for Fontaine. And I'm pretty stoked by it. So we saw so many great like characters and stuff. Like obviously we saw this has to be the Archon. Like this has to be. And she is bratty, she is sassy, and I love it. And then of course just seeing Arlecchino, oh my word. I am so stoked. I really hope that she's playable. But we know that there's a large list of characters and we have between 4.0 to 4.5 to develop this overlaying story of what is going on in Fontaine. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna die in this one. I'm almost certain of that. But let's go ahead and transfer over really quick to the camera. Now we know that there's a bunch of other stuff too for Fontaine. I really just wanted to cover everything right there first, but let's go ahead and talk about what we know so far. We know that we are going to be swimming underwater. That's the biggest thing so far that I think everybody is seeing. But not only are we going to be swimming, we're also going to be able to fight underwater as well. To what extent? The only thing I know is that we have a water blade thingy that shoots out and we can, you know, destroy enemies from there. That's the biggest thing I know about the underwater thing. But we're even going to have exploration, and from what it seems like, Fontaine is going to be a multi-map thing, or overlaying map is probably the better way to put it, meaning that there's going to be a top floor, second floor, and a third floor. And that hurts because I haven't even finished Subaru's exploration. I still need to do that. I'm way behind, but I'm almost certain, right, that there's going to be so much to this that we don't even know when it comes to exploration. It's going to be massive. Fontaine is going to be massive, especially with the like list of characters that are going to be happening. And I don't really think that there's a lot of characters outside of maybe the actual Grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius, and maybe even, you know, our favorite Godbird, you know, freaking, you know, I can't remember her name. I really can't. No, but in all honesty, there's not many characters from the previous regions that we don't have at the moment that have been talked about, except for maybe a few, like obviously Grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius. We have Alice. We have, you know, everyone's favorite Crane Bird. You know, there's only a few. So I don't think any of them, and hopefully I'm wrong on one of them, that we're gonna see any of them in 4.0 to 4.5. But again, I really hope I'm wrong. But of course, that's mainly the things that we know about Fontaine so far and what we're going to see. We do know that there's a few other characters that were talked about in the previous main live stream for 3.8. So speculate at your own will. I will say that. But honestly, I'm stoked for Fontaine, and I know that a lot of you are as well. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Do you guys think I missed something in the trailers? I would love to know, because that's something to talk about. Maybe we could do a short and a TikTok about it. I don't know. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Love you all to death. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all.